guys. Welcome back to the Javier Mendez podcast. We are running this while the coach is in Dubai training Habib and Umar and Islam Makhachev and Zubaira and many, many more. Manap, so there's a lot of guys. He's got his hands full. So we're here to do the podcast for him. And this week there's a big card that we couldn't let just slide by. We've got Covington versus Woodley. And there's a lot of tension. They've kind of sold the fight a bit. A lot of people, the odds are in the favor of Covington. Woodley, though, he's got a chance. What are your feelings on that, Tony?
Nobody knows what Woodley is going to show up. The commentator, the actor, the black activist, or maybe the fighter is going to show up. So no one knows what Woodley is going to show up. So that's what makes it a great mystery. And a lot of people keep trying to make it about race, but here's the reality. People just want to see a good fight.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't had too much. UFC has been pretty much all about the fighting, and especially when it goes overseas. I think that Covington is going to bring something. A lot of people are favoring Covington. Of course, the odds do too. Woodley's coming off 2 losses. Covington's coming off of 1. They both fought the champion. It's hard to make a comeback. I mean, in these times in the UFC, when you get older, I think Woodley's 38 years old. There's guys like, I'm going to come back one more time. It gets harder. You think that plays into anything in this fight?
No, everything is in his head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's all a mind game. So if he gets out of his own way, 38 is not old. He doesn't have a lot of wear and tear on him. It's just all in his head. He just has to, actually rewind time and be the person he was before all the other distractions. Like I said, if he just comes in as the fighter, this guy is really dangerous. He has genetics on his side. He has so many great attributes, but, he's a head case. So it's like he always has the emergency brake on.
And what about Covington? You feel he's just, I'm here.
He makes incredible fights. He makes incredible fights. I don't care if he supports, whoever. It doesn't matter. If that fuels him to bring great fights, I think it's great. If he hates people, he's a racist. I don't care what he is. This guy brings it, and he makes great shows. So what he does in his personal life is his personal business, his personal beliefs.
Yeah, the guy definitely does show up. And he does put on exciting fights. And I think he took that narrative long ago just to get more attention and, sell the fights to get, pushed up the card, because it's real easy to get lost in the roster unless you're making some noise. And then he had the fighting to back it up. But even if you are a good fighter, some people get trapped in the middle if they don't take a step towards that. I mean, that's been the history.
Well, he's been taking a lot of shots, and it's just like a door. If you keep slamming the door, at some point the hinges are going to come off. So at some point, he's going to get hit, and it's not even going to be that great of a shot, and he's probably going to go down because he's just taken way too many shots.
He's pretty good on his boxing. The one thing that I'm thinking, just in my head, this is not some scientific, logical, pro-boxing outlook, is that he did take some great shots from Usman, and he kept coming. So that makes me wonder, does that big over-the-top hammer that Woodley likes to drop that has knocked out a lot of guys, I don't think Colby's going to be as afraid of that. I think his boxing and getting in close, getting inside, he's going to have a better chance.
Woodley hits a hell of a lot harder than Usman. Usman pushes his punches because he's too muscular.
Yeah, that's true.
He pushes his punches. It's a total different type of an acceleration and transfer of energy. It's way different. He won't, I'm telling you, if Tyrone throws, he ain't going to be able to take those type of punches.
Yeah, he just has to get off. I was watching, he accelerates, like boom, he's halfway across the octagon.
Exactly.
Dropping the hammer. Well, I don't know if it's going to help anybody with their betting odds, but odds are in Colby's favor. If you're going to bet on the possibility to win some money, you've got Tyron, who's won before, and he could win again. And there's that possibility. Now, go out.
It's 11-1 that Cerrone could get a first-round knockout. That's what the odds are this morning.
Mm-hmm.
It's 11-1 odds. So if, like I said, if he decides to accelerate and throw and possibly get lucky, then it's possible. But hey, it's fighting. Anything can happen.
And we've got Donald Cerrone versus Nico Price. Cerrone's getting his time in. Hasn't done anything really great lately. You know, it's like this time he's going to come back. It's like he hasn't been able to pull the trigger either. I don't know if there comes a time where the sport eclipses you like it did for people like Chuck in one day. You know, Chuck Liddell way back in the day. You saw the sport eclipse certain fighters, sometimes more obvious, sometimes not as much. But, you know, if you know what you're looking at, you see the boom, sorry, you're done. So I don't know. They have him fighting Nico Price. He's a pretty competitive guy. His record right now stands 14 wins and 4 losses, but he's coming off a loss. So I guess they're trying to make this somewhat evenly matched to put on an entertaining show. You familiar with Nico Price at all?
Yes. I'm familiar with both of them. So here's the thing. Once there's too much footage on a fighter, and then you can actually it's like having too much information. So everybody knows Cowboy needs to get into a rhythm. He likes to take his half step. You know, he'll slip his head to the right. You know, he has these characteristics in his paradigm. So when you have so much footage and information on a person, you know, if the fighter doesn't reinvent himself, then he could run into some serious trouble.
Yeah, you can kind of anticipate how that's going to go. Well, best of luck, Cerrone and Nico Price. Now, here's a guy I want to talk about. Khamzat Chimaev, he's fighting Gerald Meerschaert. And the favor is deep in Khamzat, who's coming off 2 back-to-back wins. You know, Dana put him on 2 cards, one right after the other, like not even almost 30 days apart or less. And he was fresh. He was like, let's go. He put it out there. He's like, I'll fight all the Diaz brothers in the same day. I mean, he's in that mode right now. He's young. He's hungry. And he does look a lot like Khabib, at least on the ground. He's got his own unique little taste to him. Have you got a chance to watch any of his fights?
Absolutely. I've actually met him a couple of times before too. Every fighter has a window where just everything just works out perfect for them.
Right.
And he's in that window where, you know, it just happens. You know, He has no injuries. He has no fear. You know, fighting for him is like pouring a glass of water. So when they're in that time window, watch out.
The guy looks like, hey, I miss the old UFC. Let's fight round robins, 8 fights to get to the belt fight. You know, as long as your eyeballs not hanging out.
That's what's going to make him so incredible, because he doesn't want to be famous. He doesn't want to be rich. He likes to fight first.
Right.
So because he actually loves to fight more than he wants to be famous or be whatever, you know, he's actually going to end up making way more money because he loves what he's doing. That's what makes him so incredible. A lot of these guys, you know, they want to be famous, they want to have money in the bank, and they want a certain type of lifestyle.
He's like, I already get the lifestyle. Let's just fight. He wants the fight. He lives for it. That's a beautiful focus to have. I think that's what suited Khabib all these, years. It's their style, it's their culture and their religion. That's like, we're not going to chase all the shiny stuff. Let's get back to the next match. So, yeah, I think he'll do very good in this fight. I have a strong feeling that he'll pull out the win. Now, here's a guy that showed some promise. This will be the last guy we're going over, Johnny Walker versus Ryan Spann. Johnny Walker came out and just starched some people. And there was a guy that did this years ago. We talked about it. Sojuku in Pride, who came over to the UFC, didn't last very long. But he came out just doing these flying, spinning kicks and knocking out big names. So it looked like he was heading right towards John Jones, and somehow he just got smoked. So I think right now he's coming off of a couple of losses. Yeah, Nikita Krylov and Corey Anderson. Corey Anderson was the one, like, they thought he was going to run over him, and Corey Anderson's like, nope. And he just went out there and knocked the guy out. And then Nikita Krylov, he won by decision, but still, he has to come back and show himself, where Ryan Spann is coming off a victory of Devin Clark and Sam Alvey. So Ryan Spann's on a 4-fight win streak, 5-fight, including Dana White Contender Series. What do you think about Johnny Walker? Do you think he needs to focus more? Do you think something's missing there? Was that just like beginner's luck that happens sometimes where you're real athletic?
You never know what someone's going through in their personal life or physically.
Right.
So they could be hurt.
Yeah.
And I always tell fighters, look, try to figure out a way to get to your fight healthy. You're actually better to be a little bit out of shape and be healthy than be in top shape and be injured. It is so difficult to get to an event without an injury. So no telling what's going on. So, there really isn't much luck in fight sports.
But is it like I'm just being theoretical here. Like a guy comes out and he throws some wild kick that you're not expecting. You expect him to warm up, kind of feel out the distance, get your timing down. He just comes out and goes, tornado kick, bam, the guy's gone. It's kind of hard to get a read on a guy when he does that a couple of times. But then
no.
Go ahead.
There's different levels. There's A, B, C, and D level. Mm-hmm. So that will work on a D level fight, a C level fight, maybe C minus. Mm-hmm. But against a C plus fighter, a B fighter, a B plus fighter, and an A level fighter, that's not going to work. It ain't happening.
Right.
Because anybody that's fighting an A level guy, he's got way too much experience, and there's only two ways you can attack: is parallel and circular. It doesn't matter what kind of costume you got on or spinning or whatever. You're not going to surprise an A-list fighter.
It's true. So I've been, putting up clips for Coach. Looks like he's having fun over there in Dubai. Little texting back and forth. Talked to him once. And have you been staying in touch with Hob too? A little bit. It just looks like
actually, we haven't spoken a minute.
He's busy, man. I mean, he's not calling.
Yeah, like I said, I mean.
Oh, yeah. It is what it is. If you guys want to see what's coming out, it's whatever he sends me. Looks like he's got a lot of guys to train. He's got a big team. He's got 4 or 5 guys, 3 guys fighting on the same card. He's got
massive.
Yeah, Islam, and he said he prefers this in other podcasts. Coach. He's like, you got Islam, Umar, and Habib all on the same card. And I don't know if Zubaira's on that card or he's going to fight on a card before that. So he's got that.
But see, it makes it so easy because think about it. It's like they're high-end Ferraris. So all he has to do is wipe them off, and, they're going to perform at such a high level because, he doesn't have to build them. He doesn't have to do this. All he has to do is, it's like $1 million racehorse. You brush him, he runs a couple laps, and you put him and keep him for the race. Yeah. So training somebody at that level is it's almost therapeutic, like it ain't even real.
Well, I think it gives them some edge, being acclimated to the desert, being acclimated to Dubai, even though they're fighting, I believe, on Yaz Island, Fight Island. So getting there early, I mean, the flight's insane from here in the United States. They're only flying from Russia, which is less. It's like
but you don't have to tell these guys to eat right. You don't have to tell them to go to bed. You don't have to tell them, to do simple necessities.
Yeah.
A lot of fighters in the United States, they're always figuring out ways to cheat. I got a cheat day coming up. I got, an extra cheat meal. And they're always figuring out ways to cut corners. With these guys, they live it. It's a lifestyle. So for a trainer, it's just, you can't ask for nothing more.
They kind of live like they're always in camp, unless they're doing some other sports when they're off. They'll stay in shape. Now I want to go into boxing. You brought this up, Lopez versus Lomachenko. Lomachenko's amazing. Now, give me a little bit more background on Lopez. This is a boxing match. This is tomorrow, right?
Yes, Lopez can hit really, really hard. He is tough as nails. And most people in Vegas are all betting on Lopez. Quite a few people are dropping money on Lopez. They think he's going to get the upset.
Mm-hmm.
And then, go ahead.
Well, I mean, he's up against a guy that just has no quit in him. He's all heart, all go. It's like a cyborg, Lomachenko.
Well, no, what it is Lomachenko basically has an extremely high fight IQ.
Very technical.
So what he does is he puts you in a lane where he can hit you and you can't hit him. So he's like a master race car driver because he understands the lane. Yeah. So once he gets you to the 5th round, you know, he's putting you in a bag of microwave popcorn and you can't get out because you're just getting hit with so much stuff.
So true.
I think Lomachenko, after the 5th round, Lopez is going to have some issues. He is, you know, it's going to have problems because his feet are not going to be able to be in that right position. There's no way.
Well, you've got the bullfighter and the bull, so that should be a great fight. Now, you were saying something also earlier about GSP and Khabib probably never going to happen. And it doesn't look like time-wise either.
Well, George St. Pierre is not going to fight at 155, and everybody knew this. And he said it's because he's older and he can't cut that weight.
Right.
So unless Khabib goes to 170, you know, it's never going to happen.
Yeah, it's the impasse. You know, it's not going to go. What is your health tip for the day? You know?
Okay. So a lot of people that are actually fortunate enough to work, they're wearing these masks for long periods of hours. So what's happening around this city and my other friends in Los Angeles, that it's affecting their teeth really bad. They're getting gum infections. They're getting more cavities than ever.
Wow.
So my suggestion is drink hot water and ginger every day. Have a big glass of it because ginger kills parasites.
Yeah. So why is the mask doing this? Is it just holding in like it's, what do you think?
Well, you're breathing your own carbon, monoxide for hours, and also to the California fires. There's so much smoke in the air. There's so much smoke, so much pollution, so much chemicals, and then you have a mask on, and your teeth and gums are just getting annihilated. So, like I said, ginger kills parasites in your mouth. So you got to do ginger every single day.
You know what? I drank a lot of ginger last night. I'm in agreement with you. I'm not wearing my mask so much because I'm not being in the population very much. That's the good side for me. And we're going to end this note with guess what? It's Javier Mendez's birthday. Happy birthday, Coach. Happy birthday, Javier. Friend of Tony's, friend of mine. Tony longer than me, of course. I'm just the imposter showing up at the last minute with the birthday wishes. Make sure you follow Coach. Tell him happy birthday at AKA JAV on Instagram. And subscribe, follow us. More videos coming your way from Dubai, from Coach, and more podcasts. Let us know who you think is going to win the card. And thank you for watching the channel.